Well, if you missed my last video, this is my boy Gliffy from Zippy's. And today, we're going to build his new enclosure. Hey, bro, you want to give me my camera back? Since I've been in the groove of making hollow tree limbs lately, I decided to start this project off doing just that, making Gliffy's tree. And this will be a special tree, a New Caledonia tree. Just look at that shape. And here it is before I carve it. Okay, my bad, I didn't video any of the carving, but I got most of the tree carved up. Alright, so I've just been debating my options, between dry lock, paint and sealer, silicone, eco-earth, substrate, naturalistic background. Each one has its own steps, its own drying times, its own aroma, which has the air out before the animal can go in it. So, the thing with silicone, though, over dry lock, is I've heard that it makes it a little bit slicker, a little harder for the gecko to get up and down. Supposedly dry lock's better for a gecko. So that led me to thinking, I'm going to leave that background in there, get some great stuff foam, do both sides, and blend it in. Now, I still got about 3/4 of a can of great stuff foam. I could probably do one side of it. The problem is it's standard great stuff foam, and it's white. I don't really want that. So, I got on Amazon and I made another order. This time I got great stuff pond and stoned. It's flat, and I really hate that he's had to go so many days without an enclosure properly set up. So, I guess I'll throw some decorations in here, chuck it up a little bit, just to make it feel better. So first, I'm going to put the lights in.
That's not going to fit. Really?
I got these cheap LEDs off of Amazon, but I hear they work good. They are too long because I did not measure right. Oh! You mean I gotta place another order? Oh, Lord. One thing I have to say about this enclosure, it's probably got the best top out of any of them I've seen. There's 2 pieces, so the front side can hinge open. Or you can hinge the back open if you wanted to turn it around, I guess. And it comes with this plastic tray you can put over this for tropical species, like my gecko. So this is one of the packages of decorations I ordered. It's like a 7 or 8 foot vine, which is definitely more than enough for this enclosure, but I can squeeze it in there. I got this vine and another vine. Might not be much yet, but at least it's a little bit of something to hide in. Well, while I'm waiting on my Amazon order to come in the mail, I decided to go ahead and make Gliffy a treehouse, otherwise known as a snack shack. And the super glue just wasn't cutting it. So I went ahead and broke out the hot glue gun. And I gotta say, nothing beats a 20-volt hot glue gun, especially with the 6 amp hour DeWalt battery on it. So I'm using coffee stir sticks to frame out this snack shack, and I figured if I dry lock it before I paint it, it should hold up to the moisture just fine. After all, they are used in coffee. And you might be wondering, will a gecko actually use a treehouse? Well, there's really only one way to find out. I'm actually really excited about this little project. It's not every day I get to use my wood construction skills in my snake habitats, but maybe I should try to incorporate a little bit more of this. Maybe I can build some hog-nosed haciendas, or a Morelia mansion, or a couple python pavilions. I mean, really the possibilities are endless, as long as I can afford all this lumber. Well, anyway, sit back, watch, and enjoy the show. So I'm going to go ahead and dry lock the tree now that I got it done. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and dry lock this. Yep, it's all done. I love how it turned out. I planned on building her a little ladder to go down to the tree, but the size of this compared to the enclosure, she could hop right onto the tree from right here, so I don't think I'm going to need the ladder. Plus, I need the room for all of her plants, so I'll wait until I get the backgrounds in, put this in there and put all the plants in, and I'll decide if I got room for a ladder or a bridge or whatever else. I'd love to be able to leave it the natural wood color, but I doubt it would hold up in all the moisture, so I'm going to dry lock it, and then I'll paint it back the wood color. Hello, Boo Babe. You look sticky? Hi, Gooba. Hey, baby boy. Lily, you don't want that. I promise, Lily, babe. I think this is more work than painting the tree. Now that I finished the tree up. Hey, Rosebud. What you doing, pooping? All right, now they're all finished. I just gotta let them dry and I can paint them up. Now I can finally go wash my hands. Oh, and I ate it earlier too. So I should probably go wash my ankle. I'll be back when I get the paint out. After the dry lock dried, I painted them up. I didn't get that on video because I was watching TV in the middle of the night. But they're done. Now all I gotta do is water seal them. Then I can get the backgrounds done. Oh yeah, I finished this hollow log for my friend's leopard gecko. I'm sorry, Hansi. I'm not trying to waterproof the wiener dog. Okay, I'm gonna let those dry, and they're pretty much done. Okay, my order from Amazon finally showed up. Now I get to doing these backgrounds. As you can see, I already took Mr. Gliffy out. I put him in another enclosure, so it's time to get to work. And this will be my first time using pond and stone. I got this because it's black, and I plan on doing the sides. And I really don't want the sides to be white on the back side. You know, where I can't paint it because the glass is in the way. This will be a good experiment so I get used to the texture. Because I'm sure it's a little bit different. It's supposed to be a lot stronger too. And that is it. Well, all the carving's done and all the dry lock's done. I'm gonna let it dry and get to painting it. And I didn't record that because logistically, that was a nightmare. Too small of an enclosure for me to fit inside, yet too deep for my arms to reach. Well, the dry lock's all dry. Now I can paint it. Well, all the black's dry now, so I'm going to get to doing some brown highlights on the top. Trying to decide how I want to do it. I don't want it as dark as the tree, so probably going to do a lot lighter brown, just to lighten it up, make some contrast in the back. I'm going to start with this brown, which is normally a highlight color for me. Brown oxide. I don't know what it is about this color, but every time I try to get it out in the bottle, it's super, super thick. And I have to wet it down with some water to get it to even come out in the bottle. So I'm going to mix it a little bit runny for this coat, just so I can get it applied faster. Lighten up the color of the background some. And I'll go with some even lighter highlights on top of that. Because overall, I think I want the background to be lighter than the tree. And that way, it's not all so dark in there. That's the plan for now anyway. If I get it on there and I don't like it, I can always change it up. Well, the first coat of brown is dry. Now I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. Alright, I'm done with the highlights. I changed the food shed up a little bit. It might still look a little bit dark, but when I get all the greenery in there and the plants, it'll brighten up a lot. Now I gotta take it outside and paint seal it. Alright, so I want that plant to sit right there. But I think before I seal the paint, I'll go ahead and put some great stuff foam underneath that one, just so it's got a spot for the plant to sit. Now the one thing about great stuff foam, it sticks to everything, except saran wrap. And these plants happen to come wrapped in saran wrap. So I'm going to leave that one sitting there just like it is with the saran wrap on the bottom. I'm going to spray around it, and when it dries, I can pull the plant up. That way I can paint it, water seal it, and I won't get any of that on the plant. Alright, so I foamed in a little pocket back there for a plant. Now it's time to dry lock it. When you don't want to dig out the tripod. So I'm going to let that dry, then I can paint it and water seal the whole thing up. And when you don't want to dig out the hammer. Abby, you want to shut that for me, buddy? Golly, you shedded it. You got to bring out the vacuum cleaner, Gooba. Alright, I got the black coat on there. Now it's time to blend it with the rest of the background. Alright, we got it all painted up. I cleaned the glass up on the edges. And now it's time to seal the paint up. And I hope I can use the spray bottle because I'm sure I hadn't gotten any better. Well, some good news. I figured out how to clean it out, so now it's spraying just fine. Whoops. Alright, so now the seal is dry. And I decided to go ahead and spray it out with some water. Go ahead and run off any of that seal that's not dry. I'm going to run it out on the ground before I take it inside. Probably going to let it air out for a couple days too. Right now it smells pretty strong. Yeah, I think you can feel it running out now. So I'm going to leave it upside down for a minute and let most of the water drain out. And then whatever water is caught up in the little pocket that can't get out right now, when I turn it over, it'll fall into the bottom. Well, now I got the inside looking good, but the outside's not so much. Well, I got a plan for that, but I still got a couple more steps to go first. But if you want to know what that is and you want to see the rest of this build, you're going to have to come back to the next video. You wanna be on TV? You wanna be on TV, doggy?